From sun-soaked Caribbean shores to 7,000-meter Himalayan peaks, our planet's borders hide wild secrets, like Bhutan's mystical capital, Thimphu, cradled by mountain ranges where hidden monasteries cling to cliffs, and Sudan's ancient lakes whisper tales of vanished empires. Buckle up, we're diving into geography's most jaw-dropping extremes, where every border tells a story of extremes, enclaves, and landscapes that defy imagination.
Did you know thousands of fish gather at one spot in the Caribbean every year? This epic fish party happens at Gladden Spit, a coral reef in Belize, during the spawning season. For just a few weeks each year, this reef becomes the largest fish migration in the Caribbean. Hundreds of hammerhead sharks join the party, drawn by the scent of spawning fish. Scientists have found that this hotspot supports more than 30 species of fish. This marine gathering is so unique that it's one of the most studied events in the Caribbean. What's the most surprising marine event in your country? Comment below. What if a country rose from sea level to the height of a mountain in just one journey? That's exactly what happens in Bhutan. Bhutan's lowest point is approximately 318 feet above sea level, but its highest peak, Gangkhar Puensum, soars 24,836 feet into the sky. This incredible shift happens over just 200 miles of travel, from subtropical forests to alpine zones. Imagine starting in a warm, humid forest and ending up in a cold, snowy mountain pass, all in one day's drive. And here's the kicker, this extreme altitude change makes Bhutan one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. If you drove from the lowest to the highest point, you'd climb more than 24,500 feet. That's like going from sea level to the top of the Empire State Building and then climbing an additional 10,000 feet. What's the most extreme geography in your country? Comment below, and don't forget to like and share. Did you know the capital of Bhutan is built into a cliffside over 2,000 feet above sea level? Thimphu sits at an elevation of approximately 10,240 feet, making it one of the highest capitals in the world. The city is surrounded by steep cliffs and rugged terrain that rise over 3,000 feet above the valley floor. Despite its dramatic location, Thimphu is home to approximately 104,214 to 115,000 people and remains the political and cultural heart of Bhutan. Here's the twist, the city has no traffic lights. Instead, it relies on a system of police officers and traditional rules to manage its narrow, winding roads. Imagine a city carved into a mountain, where traffic is guided by people, not signals. That's Thimphu, Bhutan. What's the most dramatic city in your country? Comment below. Did you know a monastery in Bhutan sits at approximately 10,000 feet above sea level? Bhutan is a tiny country surrounded by the Himalayas, yet it hides over 40 monasteries deep in the clouds. The most famous is Tiger's Nest Monastery, perched nearly 9,000 feet up on a cliffside. Some of these monasteries are only reachable after a 2-day hike through dense forests and steep mountain passes. The Himalayas that border Bhutan reach over 23,000 feet, taller than Mount McKinley in Alaska. And some monasteries are built into cliffs so high, they're only visible when the clouds part. What's the most surprising geography fact about your country? What if a river could cut through a mountain range in just a few million years? In Bhutan, the Drangmi Chu River drops approximately 9,000 feet from its source to its mouth. It flows through the Eastern Himalayas, where peaks rise above 23,600 feet. The river has carved deep gorges that rival the Grand Canyon in scale and beauty. Despite the extreme terrain, the Drangmi Chu supports unique ecosystems and is a vital water source for local communities. To put it in perspective, the river's drop is taller than the Empire State Building's roof height. What other natural wonders in your country would surprise the world? What if I told you there are castles built into cliffsides that have never been attacked, not once in over 400 years? These are Bhutan's Dzongs, ancient monastic fortresses built without a single nail or drop of mortar. Some of these massive structures weigh over 20,000 tons, yet they sit on narrow mountain ridges, untouched by time or war. The oldest dzong was built in the 17th century, and it still stands in perfect condition, defying erosion and conflict. Even during the 1950 Assam earthquake, which measured 8.7 on the moment magnitude scale, not a single dzong collapsed. Engineers still can't fully explain how these structures remained so stable, but one thing is clear: they were built to last. What other ancient secrets are hidden in the Himalayas? Let us know in the comments. What if a country had a border with both the Sahara Desert and a giant lake? That's exactly what Chad has. Chad stretches over 495,800 square miles, more than twice the size of Texas. The northern third of the country is buried under the Sahara Desert, one of the hottest and driest places on Earth. But just 200 miles to the south, you'll find Lake Chad, once one of Africa's largest lakes. Back in the 1960s, Lake Chad covered 25,000 square miles, bigger than Maryland and Delaware combined. Today, it's shrunk by more than 90% for shocking change caused by climate and human activity. So, you can travel from the driest desert to a major lake in under 200 miles, all within the same country. What other wild geography facts does your country have? Did you know that Egypt and Sudan share a border that's almost perfectly straight for about 792 miles? This border is one of the longest straight borders in the world, drawn by colonial powers in the late 1800s. It runs almost perfectly along the 22nd parallel north, with only minor deviations for rivers like the Nile. Back then, the border divided British-controlled Sudan from Egyptian-controlled territory, drawn without regard for local people or the land itself. That's right, this straight line was drawn on a map, not in the field, and it ignores natural features and human settlements. To put it in perspective, that's about the same as the distance from New York City to Miami, and it's all in a straight line. Now imagine your country's borders. What weird lines were drawn just like this? Comment below.